It has been. Oh, by the way, happy 16-week anniversary, Zero.
Oh, hey! So what am I doing to celebrate? I'm playing the Star Wars MMO.
That's fine. Old Republic. Yeah.
Yep,
Is that BioWare?
it is.
Yeah, it's one of the last decent titles that they made.
Ooh, Doc, I can show you. Hang on. Share. Yes.
Show me.
Without sound because apparently it's copyrighted because I got the pop-up.
Oh, you're Nar Shaddaa. Nar Shaddaa is in this game. That's neat. The Smuggler's Moon. Is
But-
Zorba the Hutt here?
No. But I have my own the med bay. It's very you have to pay actual money for decorations unless you earn them in game. And I haven't earned a whole lot.
Is there a base building aspect to this?
There is.
Oh,
this
God
is my
help us.
stronghold.
Now that I know about this, God help us all.
And then this is my
This is the place where you keep all your droidekas.
well, these are fabrication droids. They actually I can make things using crew skills that these guys will turn into decorations for me. So
Oh, they're like the weaving spiders in the
Yeah.
in the house that we had. Yeah.
and then this is my cantina.
Oh, you got. Are those robots or actual people? Okay,
Those are
I
actual
see 'em.
people.
From far away, they look like whatever the assassin droid was in KOTOR.
Yeah.
The hell is his name? HK something.
HK-51. You can get him as a
HK-51.
companion in this game.
Oh, that's so nice.
And then I've got my large guns.
For all the people that you need to shoot on Nar Shaddaa, yeah, that's
Yes.
that won't end badly for anybody.
Nope. It's not like there are buildings for things to crash into.
Yeah.
This is my war room.
For all the war that you plan,
Yes.
a lot of that going on.
War were declared.
War, yeah.
The shooting range. Because, you know, every West Virginian has to have one of those.
Is that what it is? It sounds like there's a giant piston jacking off somewhere in the background.
There is. It is the
It's what Zero
guns.
aspires to be.
Oh, nice. Yeah. Good one, Masami. Also, yeah,
I'm sorry,
then-
Zero.
That's okay. I like
What
being
else?
whipped.
I know.
My giant hut frozen in carbonite.
Which hut?
It's just a hut. There's no specific.
They have. You're supposed. Oh, that's lame.
My hot tub.
Jabba. Melinda. Paco the
Jabba's
Hutt.
not in this one. This is way before Jabba would have even been born. Um,
That would have been
there's
Steve
my
the
transport
Hutt, then.
ship over there. Steve the Hut. Pizza the Hut.
His great uncle. Oh yeah, Pizza the Hut, and who's the robot guy? Who's definitely not from a 1980s music video. Oh man.
But yeah, this is my stronghold.
No, Omega's here. Hi, Omega.
Oh my god. Okay, I leave.
So how much money do you have to spend to get all the decorations there?
I haven't spent any.
How much money could you spend to get all of the decorations that are available?
Thousands of dollars.
Gosh.
Thousands. Yeah. Like, all of the cartel coins that I have, I've earned through just being because at one point when the game first started, I was a subscriber. And then when it switched to the free-to-play model, I stopped subscribing, but I kept my Benefits Plus membership. which I still didn't have to pay for, but because I was a subscriber at one point, I get 500 coins a month, and I just saved them, and I can technically buy things. But
all right, show me the fucking transactions for base build decorations. Show me the go.
okay.
Also, how much does this shit cost? How much does this in-game currency bullshit cost? Oh, okay, all right,
So
now
like you can get a pack of stuff for 1,500.
right. I see a
on.
lot of 1,500. I see some 500 individual pieces of furniture for 80.
Yeah, individual for 80. 120. Some like art pieces are 170.
yeah,
Statues, altar of skulls. Oh, skulls for the skull throne.
Yeah.
Oh. Statues. Rib cages, medical facilities.
All right, so go to wherever you buy the in-game currency. How much does what we have for packages here? I
have to like log into a website for that, and
Oh,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
all right. No, that's fine. If it's on a website,
varies,
I can find it.
It varies from $4.99 up to $99.99 for the different.
Get to the comments.
Cartel coins.
For the ability to fondle different sized packages.
Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Oh, I drove 11. Well, I was in the car for 11 hours. I drove part. Oh my god.
Are we sore?
I'm just glad I'm no longer moving. Oh. Drove all the way. I woke up in Grand Rapids, Michigan this morning, and I am home today.
So, oh, subscription plans. All right, so you can buy 14,500 cartel coins for 100 daru.
Yeah.
That'll buy. But this is what I was interested in. I should throw this up on stream as long as we're doing this. So I'm always curious about how math breaks down. So an awful lot of 1,500, so an awful lot of 80, 120, 160 odd currencies like that, and surprise, surprise, you can buy 450 cartel coins, 1,050 cartel coins, 2,400 cartel coins, 550 cartel coins, or 14,500 cartel coins. I love how predatory it is when somebody goes through all the price lists and decides that, yeah, we're going to have all these things and they're going to cost all this, but it's either we're going to sell packages of the coins, and the packages are either going to be just not enough to get what you want, so you have to buy the next highest package, or the package is just going to be, you know, like you only want something that's 80, so you have to buy 450, and then you can't buy anything else with what's left over from the 450. If you ever want to buy something again, you have to buy another one. I love how predatory that is, and I see that in fucking every single MMO game ever that has microtransactions. So delicious. Good on you for not spending money in this game, Zero. I'm just going to assume that you didn't spend any money in this game.
I have not. To date, I have spent none. Now they changed the model a few years back to where you couldn't, like, unless you were subscribed, you didn't get the 500 cartel coin bit every month.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, okay, well, I'll just never subscribe, and I've literally been sitting on that 9,000 or so for the better part of 3 years, because there's nothing in like, it's all cosmetic stuff. It's mostly glitter. There are a few things in the let's see here. There are a few things.
Zero, was there a minimum amount of time you had to be subscribed to get that? Or was it like,
no,
if you
it's
had
like if you were subscribed at all, it was 500 coins every month until they change the policy. But like
'Cause-
you can get
Because, yeah, I paid for that for a little bit, I remember.
yeah, you may
Okay.
want to check and see if
Yeah.
see if you've got any coins. But like you can get crystals, kyber crystals for your weapons and lightsabers, because kyber crystals don't just go in lightsabers in this game, they go in blasters and stuff as well. But they add like critical strike or mastery, endurance, power, so on and so forth. So but you can buy those. Those are generally range anywhere from low end 300, high end. I think the most expensive one I've seen was like 15 or 1600 when it first came out.
I just read 10 minutes ago, Zero, that you posted to Leetness that if he doesn't join us, he'll never have a solid poop again.
Oh, jeez.
And it seems like he's at peace with that.
Very much if he's high future lateness. I really don't hope that you have unsolid poops, because that's just a real pain in the dick.
No, it depends. If you got like...
Pain in the ass, Zero.
It depends if you've
Get it
got
right.
like bucket of water where the bottom just falls out, or if you've got super soaker.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Anyway,
Hail to the Emperor. More importantly, hail to you, Master.
oh, say hail to the Emperor. Okay, all right, I'm down with that.
Yeah. This is one of my two Empire side characters.
So you're quote unquote evil.
So my Sith warrior is dark side, full dark side. My bounty hunter is, the mercenary with the heart of gold. So she's light side. Only made a couple of choices that were dark side choices, but that's just because I'm a murder hobo and like to shoot things in the head.
Sometimes things just need to die.
Well, yep, 100%.
Said every Sith ever about everything.
Yeah.
Oh, Rumbly. I just stopped watching you play this game. It's going to turn into one of those podcasts where I don't do anything, I just watch you play games. Oh, you run a ship this old? Oh, no, you transported your ship. Never mind. Never mind. It's like, wow, did Nar Shaddaa just jump into warp, or jump into hyperspace?
No. Ship did.
Yeah.
We were going at ludicrous speed.
Oh, good times.
Mm.
Have you gotten to the point in the script where you haven't read it yet?
Always. I'm always at the point in the script where I haven't read it yet because I don't read.
Clearly.
There's a good number of Spaceball memes that have been cropping up in the past couple weeks.
Yeah.
That and Monty Python's been making a comeback, which is always delightful. I always appreciate that.
I'm just waiting for Mel Brooks to start shooting arrows into flaming arrows into our chat, because that's a thing that he does.
Man.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was a Robin Hood Men in Tights reference.
Tights.
We're men. We're men in tights. Tights. Thank you.
Yep. Did you know the guy who played Robin Hood in that movie also was the lead in a movie called Pentagon Wars about the development of the Bradley fighting machine?
And
Bradley
Princess
fighting
Bride,
vehicle.
too.
Yeah, everybody always says Princess Bride, but it's like, yeah, well, everybody knows Princess Bride. How many people know about the movie Pentagon Wars with Kelsey Grammer?
Oh.
Maybe they were too pent up to remember.
Ah, there it is.
There are 5 sides to every story.
Cousin had to put up with terrible puns for 11 hours. So.
Oh,
All right.
God. Poor man. I'm surprised his eyes didn't melt out and his ears didn't explode.
Can you still hear me?
He's from her.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so this should work.
Acceptable.
I didn't know
Excellent.
if booting that up was gonna fuck with my mic at all. Yeah, it's a weird program. I can't get that. Apparently, VoiceMod does not have any Linux compatible solution, which is a bummer.
It is over.
But
Your
there's something
dreams
else.
have been thwarted.
No, there's something else that I can try. There's another. There's a service that runs odd applications like that. No, it's not Wine or anything like that. It's a different. It's a different shell. Wine's neat though. Speaking of Wine, yeah, the Leetness is not able to join us because he's got. What did he say that he's got? He's got a. Yeah. He said something specifically. I gotta go back. He's got a. Oh, he's got a deployment. He had a deployment that was supposed to go through. Oh no, he's still in the middle of this one. He's got another one to do at 6 a.m. tomorrow, which will be 5 a.m. for us.
God.
Good luck, buddy. Good luck, friend.
Wait, hang on. He has one at 6 a.m. his time tomorrow?
Yes, correct.
That'd be 7 a.m. for us.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, he's an hour behind. Yeah, he's an hour
Yeah.
behind us, isn't he? Yeah. Because
You made me math, now my head hurts.
The Earth goes in that direction, not the other.
Yeah, correct.
Brain hurt.
Brain.
Speaking of brains hurting, the RTX 50 series launch continues. And it's just getting funnier all the time.
Do tell.
Well, now that we'll just go back to the 5090s briefly. Now that the 5090 cards have been out for a while, people have had ample time to fuck around with them. And there's a bunch of comparison videos coming up for older games, such as Borderlands or Fallout or any of the good old classics. Basically, stuff that used the previous versions of physics. You know, the thing NVIDIA invented from games from back in like 2012, 2015, and people have been pointing out that in the new generation of cards, the 5090 specifically, or the 50 series. NVIDIA has depreciated the older versions of physics, so they don't work anymore. They shoveled all that work onto whatever CPU you happen to be using. So no big deal if you're playing whatever the latest Warhammer 40k game, because I don't think they give a shit about old versions of physics. But yeah, if you want to go back and you want to play some of your favorite games, Mass Effect, Borderlands, shit like that, and you're using a 5090 card, your performance is going to be substantially worse than literally any other NVIDIA card from any series before the 50 series. So, I just think it's funny people throwing up a game that was put out in 2012 on a 5090, and they have all these frame drops and stutters and shit, and they've got like a 14th gen i7 processor and an i9 processor. And it's just like, yeah, that's kind of shitty. But that's some of the criticism coming out of the 5090 series. Your frame generation technology doesn't do shit for older games, you asshole. The hell's his name? Jensen Huang, NVIDIA's CEO. But the funny stuff this week came from the 5070 series and the 5070 Ti. And I'm just throwing this article up from PC Gamer because I think it's fucking hilarious that this article is written. Basically, who wrote this? Jess Kinghorn. I was really hoping it was a guy, but Jess Kinghorn was just giving NVIDIA a hand job the whole time that she was writing this article, apparently. Talking about how the RTX 5070 in action, its demonstration at CES 2025, had it running. It was the 5070. The RTX 5070 is so good. According to her, it blows the RTX 4090 out of the water when it comes to Marvel Rivals.
A game that could probably run on a potato.
Yeah. And when she writes, it blows them out of the water, we're talking about the RTX 5070 consistently outperformed the older card, outputting in the region of 240 frames per second, compared to the RTX 4090's utterly shitty and disgraceful 180 FPS. So I just thought that was silly.
That's stupid. Sorry.
The other thing I love, this article is obviously written to tout how good the 5070 is. It also, early in the article, it says, according to NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang on stage, he made a claim that the RTX 5070 will offer, quote, RTX 4090 performance at $549. So, massive fucking asterisk. First of all, that $549, no. No, the cheapest one that I could find on Newegg that's sold out, by the way, is the MSI Shadow GeForce RTX 5070 Ti, and it's $750. So your MSRP of $550 is complete fucking bullshit. RTX 4090 performance? Yeah. There, again, massive fucking asterisk. There's a lot in Marvel Rivals that is to be admired about the RTX 5070. But this was a demonstration that was done at CES 2025, and it was a demonstration done by NVIDIA on two machines that were made by NVIDIA, which, as this article points out at the very end, gave absolutely no specs for either machine except for the card being used. Nothing about a CPU, nothing about a chipset, nothing about RAM. So, for Marvel Rivals, boy howdy, do you want the RTX 5070 and the RTX 5070 Ti. But Gamers Nexus and a couple other channels that I watch for just tech news have all gone through many, many, many different games, and Gamers Nexus specifically was the first video that I watched pointing out that the 5070 seldomly outdoes not just the 4090, the 4080, and the 4070 Ti. Seldomly outdoes them, and when it does, the results are kind of comparable. 5070 Ti might be a little better, but not by much. And this is going through new quote new gen games like Black Myth Wukong, Elden Ring, shit like. This is just a colossal fucking joke. The 5070 is the first thing that's come out in the 50 series that is truly embarrassing. And the other thing is, I saw a clip the other day of NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang talking about how everybody bitches and complains about NVIDIA, and they say, "Oh, I'm gonna go do AMD, or I'm gonna go get an Intel card," and then you shut the fuck up and you buy NVIDIA because you just know it's easier and it's better. And I hate that attitude. I hate attitudes like that. So now I'm just saying, fuck them. I'm glad I've been. My next build is an AMD build. I've said that before. I've been planning on it for a long time. So I'm kind of done with NVIDIA for now. The unfortunate thing, though, is that AMD said that they're not going to do a high-end card this generation.
Yeah, but even, I mean, it is their lower end cards can keep up with NVIDIA cards pretty easily.
Well, actually, the same Gamers Nexus video that I was watching, I was keeping an eye out for the AMD 7900 XT and the 79 whatever, I think it's 7990 or 7900, still 7900 XTX. The XTX is their 24 gigabyte fucking monster card, and the RTX 5090 does outperform it pretty consistently, which is, I mean, that's just how it is. But yeah, the 7900 XTX is significantly cheaper than any of the NVIDIA cards, or the high-end NVIDIA cards that are out right now. So there's that. And the performance that we're talking about here is like 200 plus frames at 1440p. So if you're a 1080p gamer like myself and you don't care about getting more than 60 frames per second, yeah, you're right, Zero. It doesn't fucking matter. Just get an AMD card.
I mean, I don't play at I don't think I play any game at 1440.
Nah, me neither.
No, I think I play
resolution.
everything at. I think I play everything at 1080. Well, I've got the resolution. That's the thing. I've got it, and I don't use it. Like the machine that I'm gaming on is way overpowered for the games that I play.
Me too. I got 128 gigs of RAM.
For City Skylines, friends.
I know, that's literally the only reason I did it was because I play City Skylines like a fucking maniac.
And because you got so many packages on that thing, it takes forever to load.
Fucking right, it does. Jesus Christ, I have so many assets. I keep getting more. I log onto Steam to play a game, and then I'm like, I don't really want to play a game, so I end up dicking around in the workshop in City Skylines, looking over my followed authors, and like, ooh, new buildings, and I subscribe.
Ooh, new buildings. Eventually, Doc it's going to get to a point where the 128 gigs of RAM that Doc is running is not going to be enough, and it's going to creep back up to that 5 to 10 minutes worth of load time.
Yeah, because it's got to shove everything into the paging file. Yeah, no, we're at 68 gigs right now. 68 gigs whenever I load City Skylines. Let's see how long it takes to get up to 100. Delicious.
Impressive.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I love, that was the other thing I remember that Buddha posted the week before the 50 series launched. Buddha posted in Chonkwij that like the prices all seem very reasonable for all that. And I was like, yeah, you're quoting MSRP. Let's just see what the cards are when they come out. And here, yeah, lo and behold, I've got an Asus ROG Astral GeForce RTX 5090 for $3,000 fucking dollars.
Absurd. And you know they're doing this shit to try to keep scalpers from doing anything, or the scalpers have already gotten a hold of them.
Yeah, they've already gotten a hold of them.
Way up.
That's the thing. The scalpers already have gotten a hold of them. I'm looking at a legitimate retailer, Newegg, which doesn't do any of the scalper, or doesn't allow scalpers on their site, or supposedly doesn't. It says they penalize people heavily for doing that shit. But yeah, I bet if I went on eBay, Christ, I don't actually want to do that. I don't even want to know. But the cheapest one that I can find on Newegg, the cheapest 5090 that I can find on Newegg is $2,650.
Oh, man.
There was
I'll say this.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's just scalpers have ruined everything, and I will get to that statement again here in just a few minutes, because I don't think I posted the article about it, but there is some funny anti-scalper shit that the Pokemon Company is doing with their most recent trading card release.
Sorry, what did you say about a release?
The Pokemon Company did their most recent trading card release, and like scalpers were showing up and buying like all of them at once, and they were going to like Costco where they were selling them, and they would buy like entire pallets of these things and then turn around and resell them for thousands of dollars. So in response, the Pokemon Company came out and said, by the way, we're turning the extra printing machines on that we don't normally turn on, and we're just going to flood the fucking market.
Yeah, for paper, that totally works, and that's nice that they would do that.
Well, apparently Nintendo, and I did not know this, Nintendo's done that before. They did it with another trading card expansion pack release that they did, and they turned on the machines, they turned on their backup machines, and just flooded the fucking market to where like some of these cards that are going for, golly, what was it? My sister said she saw one of the new ones going for like 10 or 12 grand on some of their card trading sites. So
I wish, I wish that it was that easy for NVIDIA to turn
Yeah,
on the extra machines.
Yeah, and flood the market with cards.
Yeah, would be nice.
Oh, that'd be great.
The same, by the way. The same Asus RTX 5090 ROG Astral NVIDIA GeForce that was $3,000 on Newegg is $5,599 on eBay.
Oh.
The difference is it's in stock on eBay.
Of course it is. Because
Yeah.
why wouldn't it be? Because
Some of
fuck
these-
you, that's why.
Some of these prices are just fucking outrageous. And yeah, these are all scalpers. These are all like fucking scum. It's fucking human scum. Yeah, so I said AMD's not going to do a card for this generation. A while ago when they came out and they said, we may have misinterpreted it, or they may not have articulated their intent properly, one or the other. That's not the right one.
It's definitely one or the other.
That's the one I wanted. They have since clarified their statement to say they're not making a high-end card for this generation. They are planning on releasing high-end cards for the next generation. At least that's what sort of the RDNA 4 leak that came out this week would imply. So that's kind of exciting. We have AMD's official performance figures for the RDNA 4 leak are out early, with the RX 9070 XT claiming to be 42% faster than the current RX 7900 GRE at 4K. So these cards, these sexy beastie cards, are due out. I don't know if it's this year. It might be the end of this year. But yeah, AMD is not out of the game, and I really hope that they are sitting back and they are looking at everything that NVIDIA is fucking up right now, and they're learning and just being like, yeah, we're not going to do that. Unfortunately, I know that it's not. They're not going to be saints in the pricing game either, because, as was pointed out by people who do this for a living, or analyze GPUs and computer components for a living, traditionally all the AMD hardware, their pricing model is just whatever NVIDIA's got, and then subtract $50 or $100 from that price and put it out, and then realize after a couple months that that was a terrible idea, and then drop the price $200, $300, $400. It happened it is a long-standing pattern, and they're ever hopeful that they're going to be able to compete with NVIDIA for just $50 or $100 cheaper, and it never works. But new cards, there are new cards that are scheduled that are either due out late this year or next year, and they will be quote-unquote higher performance cards. So that's nice. Good on ya, AMD.
Hunter, have you returned? Oh, never mind. It doesn't matter.
RX 6900 XT and AMD's forthcoming GPU is 50% quicker.
The machine name?
I've got nothing to hide.
So yeah, that's nice.
This is the
Keep giving NVIDIA shit, AMD. Oh, and the other thing that I wanted to say for AMD for technology news is that somebody came out with bench pressing results for the Ryzen 9 9950X 3D, which is a beast of a processor. The 9950X 3D is the last one that they're going to make. The one that is currently out, the current beast that they have out is the 9950X. So this is a 9950X 3D, and this article goes through it pretty well in terms of performance. The X3D performs slightly better than just the X model, or the X variant. But yeah, that's the 99 series for AMD's processors. And it's fucking, what is it, 16 cores? Yeah, 16 cores, 32 threads, over 2 core complex dies. And it's just got a beast of a cache, and it's got, let's see, maximum clock speed on the 9700X was 5.5 gigahertz, whereas the 9800X3D is 300 megabytes slower, but bigger cache, bigger whammy. And it's not that the processor actually can't compete or even go faster than the 9700X, it's that it has a little bit of a throttle for its maximum clock speed, because things melt, and melting is bad. So there you go, just generally speaking. Oh, that was the other thing I forgot to talk about with the NVIDIA cards. Speaking of melting, fucking power cables, man. The 5090.
What?
This has been documented by a couple people who, again, on YouTube, who test GPUs specifically just for a living for YouTube content. It's been documented, and one guy actually got a heat gun out. A guy over in Germany got a heat gun out while he was running a performance test on an RTX 5090. Either there's something faulty on the card, or there's something faulty on a whole bunch of power supply units. The former is way more likely. But yeah, he got out a heat gun and he was looking at how much heat was spiking through the power cable between the card and the PSU. And holy fucking shit, it was like 140 degrees Celsius.
That's not good.
In two of the wires. Just two of the wires, though, which is the suspicious part.
Let's pretend, just for shits and giggles, that some of us don't know the conversion rate for from Celsius to freedom units. I mean, Fahrenheit.
It's about 300 degrees.
Damn, that's hot.
It is. Yeah, that's hot. It's too hot. That is much too hot. When you can bake a cake with the amount of wattage going through your PC cables, that's too hot.
All I'm gonna say is sometimes you just need to bake a cake while you're sitting at your desk.
It's a piece of cake to bake a pretty cake.
Don't knock the utility of being able to do two things at once.
I mean, I've always wanted a mini. What were they called? Easy bake oven.
You got to do the cooking by the book.
This is just an easy bake oven with RGB. Makes it go faster.
Never use a messy recipe.
Oh God!
If you do the cooking by the book, then you'll have a... My favorite part of the Easy Bake Oven, actually, was that it was marketed towards girls, but they had a surplus, and they were like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with the surplus? All the girls already have Easy Bake Ovens. And some genius was like, I know, we'll make metal molds not for cupcakes, for fucking scorpions and spiders and lizards and shit, and we'll come up with this, like, low melt plastic shit that you can buy as an accessory, and we'll call it... What the
Creepy
fuck?
crawlers.
We'll call it creepy crawlers.
They're amazing. I had them.
Me too. They're wormy, they're squirmy, they're purple and green. The grossest little creatures that you've ever seen. God damn, that's deeply ingrained.
Oh.
Yeah, it is. Are you okay?
Core memory unlocked.
No, Masami, for the second week in a row, I've had the fucking shittiest week imaginable.
2 days
So
in,
it
man.
beat out.
I know.
So it beat out last week.
Yes, it beat out last week. I'm waiting for the sweet embrace of death so that I just don't have to deal with any of this shit anymore.
Oh,
But, you know, the Ryzen 9 9950X 3D is going to come out, so there you go.
well, Doc, why don't you come down here to Virginia, enjoy the mountains for a little while? I'll buy you a beer or 12. I get paid this week.
So on non-pay weeks, it's water.
Yes, yeah. Well, I mean, cheap vodka.
Don't you have some redneck relative who makes moonshine in the woods?
I don't have a redneck relative, but I have friends that do.
All right, we need to go to one of those shacks because beer is just not going to do it for me.
Hey, look, if you want some apple pie moonshine, I can get you some apple pie moonshine.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about that old smoky crap that you can get from Tennessee that comes from a factory. Fuck that. That's not moonshine. Fuck you and fuck your petty ass moonshine. That's bullshit. Give me the real stuff that burns when I pee.
I agree. Yeah, I want some of that. Please.
Hey, Zero, tell us like it is.
Look,
Lord.
when we went for, I was specifically told that at my wedding that nobody from my family was allowed to bring alcohol for a reason.
Let them all bring up.
And it wasn't because the venue didn't allow outside alcohol. It was because my family doesn't just bring beer or regular liquor. No, we bring shit that'll burn your esophageal lining.
Good. So people say that. That was the other thing in Star Trek. I always thought it was funny how it was like, oh no, humans can't drink Klingon blood wine because the alcohol content will kill them. I always thought that was kind of bullshit. And turns out the reason that I thought it was bullshit, I got reminded of this of an episode that was in, I don't know, season 1, maybe season 2. The Enterprise goes to this colony and picks up a whole bunch of fucking Irish people. They're like full out Irish. And one of them, the community leader, is a raging fucking alcoholic with a daughter or something who's just constantly on her. And the daughter goes off and she wants to fuck Riker because whatever, he's the resident sex pest. But the guy is left in the cargo bay with Worf. And he's talking to Worf. He's just like, I can't get me a good pint of whiskey around here. Where? How do you survive without any alcohol? And Worf is just like, the replicator is capable of replicating your spirituous beverages. He's just, no, not the synthahol shit. No, you can do real alcohol with all of its deleterious effects as well. And so he tries the whiskey from the replicator. He's like, no, it's pure shite. And then Worf orders him blood wine. He gives the fucking Irishman blood wine, and the Irishman just downs it. And he's like, "Ooh, that's what I'm talking about." So yeah, this whole thing about humans can't drink blood wine, fucking bullshit. It's basically the equivalent to moonshine. Okay? And there are plenty of people.
You're missing the subtext here. Irish aren't people.
I was waiting for Omega to say it because I knew he was gonna.
Yeah, I mean, it was Gene Roddenberry in the early 90s, so yeah. Gene Roddenberry was a pretty progressive, he was a pretty progressive guy. Pretty forward thinking, except for when it came to women and sex.
And Irish people.
And black people. Katange, or whatever the fuck his name was in that one episode where Tasha had to fight.
I mean, for his time, hey, Star Trek was the first interracial kiss in all of TV.
Yeah.
And Star Wars was the first incestual kiss. Wait.
And as far as, oh yeah, incidentally. No, come on. Somebody in the 30s or the 40s must have made one of those, like old Greek epics, and they slapped the story of Oedipus in there. That must have been a thing.
I wouldn't doubt that you could find 100 of them.
Star Trek, but
movie.
Star Trek was also the first time on network television where somebody got phasered and their face melted off and then their whole fucking torso exploded in blood and gore. So that happened.
This dude's name is Shamadou. I just realized that.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway. Oh, I said anyway. Yeah, I got nothing. Oh, we can talk about the Avowed that came out. Obsidian's latest title.
Yeah. God, I was hoping you were going to make that joke because everybody else is. I think the way I put it was best, and I said it to a friend of mine who is. I think Asmongold puts this best. You can either eat the dick of the company that you that makes the game that you like, or you can eat a hot dog. And most people just choose to believe that the dick is a hot dog. But
that's a very
or something like that. Asmongold that makes sense.
It's
and,
exactly the kind of metaphor that I would expect Eric to make.
yeah. Thought his name was Zach.
I don't
Anyway.
care.
Anyway,
It's definitely
I
one
said-
or the other.
or the other.
Meh.
I think the best comparison was the one that I made to my friend, and that was, oh look, you're playing the Temu version of Skyrim. You can't kill people. You can't kill chickens. There are no fishable fish in the water.
Can you fuck a dragon?
No, you can't.
Well, then what are we even doing?
I'm looking for another pill. You know where I can
I have actually. I'm going to pull this up here. Besides the lead dev for Avowed and Obsidian being a racist piece of shit who was so fucking awful that he's no longer I don't want to say he got booted off Twitter, but he's no longer available on Twitter. The PC reviewing industry, which is a giant fucking joke, including PC Gamer, unfortunately, is simping for this game. So we've got an article up here written by some Australian piece of shit. What's his name? Sean Prescott. Professional dick sucker. Talking about how excellent the game is and how it's not Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah, no shit. Nor is it Kingdom Come Deliverance, nor is it Stalker 2. It's not Fallout New Vegas. It's much more old-fashioned. So he starts off, pretty logically there, and then he just goes on to how it's, pretty great. And just a quick look at let's look at the Steam numbers here. How many people? Ooh.
Yeah, it dropped off fucking hard.
The all-time peak for players in Avowed on Steam was 19,198. The 24-hour peak before an hour ago when I pulled this up was 15,310, and there are currently, let's just refresh this. There are currently 11,575 people playing the game. Now, for a smaller title, that's pretty respectable. But again, we're in a Dragon Age Failguard scenario again, where Obsidian, like BioWare, Obsidian was expecting this game to do a lot better than it's currently doing. And the reason behind that is the same old goddamn story. It's stale writing. Everybody who's critical of this game brings up the same goddamn thing over and over and over again. Besides what you've said, Zero, which is correct. It's not as good as Elden Ring. You can't do as much stuff. It's not open world. The graphics are more modern, obviously. But the thing that a lot of people seem to be complaining about is stale storytelling. It's where you don't really feel like your choices are mattering at all, even though this is a single-player RPG and you're following a storyline and things are supposed to progress depending on your decisions. You just don't get that feeling, and you don't get an interesting story. You don't get really invested in any of the characters, and it's stale. It's boring. It was not well done. So, sorry, everybody who really wants Avowed to be good. It isn't. If you enjoy it, great. Join the other 20,000 people on Steam who agree with you.
Well, and the thing is, and here's what I will say. You can't really go by the Steam numbers because it did release day one on Game Pass. So,
yes, that's true. Steam. This is not a definitive player count. It's just the public player count because Game Pass doesn't have to report any of their numbers.
Right.
Nobody
right.
does.
And honestly, a lot of people have come out, a lot of people who have paid for the game, and this is where you're going. This is going to lead into a conversation that I would like to have. I don't think we have an article on it, but I definitely want to have it. These companies are charging a premium for premium games that turn out to be absolute trash. And that's me putting it nicely. Trash. There was so much development for this game. There was so much hype building up to this game. And like the people who are playing it, and saying, oh, it's great, it's great, it's great. I almost have to wonder if they received an advance copy and were told, you have to say nice things.
That's the entire reviewing industry. That every single game reviewer is what you just said. That's what happens. There's nobody like name me a AAA title that got less than a 7 out of 10 in the past 20 years. I'll wait.
Right. I mean, then the indie games get shit on when they're clearly better. You know, it's one of those things. And then, if we continue to allow video game companies and developers to take a giant steaming shit on our chest every single time that they put out a game that they think we're going to enjoy, then they're going to keep doing it. There's literally zero repercussions for them. Because people will continue to pre-order, they will continue to buy, and it's just going to keep leading to this exact scenario happening. And Failguard happening again and again and again because people don't care. It's like my biggest fear is that GTA 6 or 5 or whatever the fuck is gonna come out and they're gonna charge $120 for it for the base game, and then all of these other AAA companies are gonna say, okay, well, Rockstar did it, we can do it, and they're gonna start charging that much for these games, and they're gonna start charging for shit. And I'm afraid that's what GTA is going to end up being. It's going to be shit, which is why I'm kind of glad we aren't that PC gamers aren't getting it first.
That's always how it goes. It's always a rough start for the GTA games. Excuse me, and they always iron it out on console, but by the time it comes to PC, it's more refined. I'm not getting GTA 6 because of Rockstar's fucking marketing bullshit and their predatory microtransactions and their fucking base game costing what, $80, $90. No,
right.
just fuck off. Oh, okay, so because I thought this was hilarious, AAA games in the last 20 years that has received less than a 7 out of 10. I've talked about this, we've talked about this before. Anthem, most notably, Anthem, the EA bomb, or BioWare's bomb.
Yeah, I mean,
from 2019, 55 out of 100. So that's one. The other one that was in 2018 was Fallout 76. 52 out of 100.
I will say this, Anthem was fun. I enjoyed Anthem for what it was. That was the last game I pre-ordered. The last game I pre-ordered that I didn't have any idea about content on. So like I pre-ordered Suikoden, but that was just because I played that game when I was a kid and I will spend money. I don't give a shit. But like that was the last AAA title that I actually pre-ordered. No, because I think Diablo came out after that, so that's a lie. Yeah,
Anthem was fun while we were doing the closed beta, and there wasn't any end game. There was just there was the start off experience, and there was the hey, you get a mech suit, and like you're walking around with your friends blowing shit up. Yeah, that was fun in the beta, in the closed beta that we were in. That was fun. And then the game came out, and it took people approximately 20 hours to beat the whole thing and get to end game, and there was no end game.
Right.
And it was just that, but that was the point. There wasn't really the campaign mode. It wasn't like Halo where you could just go through campaign mode again and again. You can have like fun. You can discover ridiculous shit to do in secret areas and stuff. No, the point of Anthem was to get to endgame. And yeah, once you were there, it was a surprise. It was a complete disappointment. Oh, I guess the other one, got to go all the way back to 2013 for Aliens, Colonial Marines. I never paid attention to that game, but apparently it got 48 out of 100 on Metacritic.
Damn.
Yeah, that was bad. Not too many other AAA titles here on this list that got... What the hell is The Order 1886? I've never heard of that.
It's it was a... Oh, crap. I tried playing it for a hot second. It was like a steampunky first-person action adventure type sort of thing, if I remember correctly. It was interesting.
Well, let's look this up. All right, it's a 2015 action-adventure video game developed by Ready at Dawn and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the PS4. Set in an alternate 1886 history, an alternate steampunk London. The game follows the Knights of the Round Table as they battle to keep the world safe from half-breeds.
Yeah.
To preserve the bloodline. To keep the waters pure. Oh, that's great.
One of those ones where it's like, do you think that they thought that one through? Do you think they did?
Look, no, it was 2015. Nobody gave a flying fuck, and the world was better for it. Well, criticism was given for the game's short-length story gameplay and replay value. Yeah, but it got praise for production value, for graphics, technical achievements. Yeah, it was great. It was just too short, apparently.
Yeah, the story wasn't too bad. I only got so far because I encountered a particular fight that fight/section that I just could not get through, and like after a while, it just wandered off once I couldn't get it. So
that's why I don't play Elden Ring.
I don't even know if it was meant to be that hard, because I think I had it on easy or whatever. I don't even actually know if I...
There were different game modes for the Order where you could play, story-oriented or action-oriented. So, yeah, you could have had it in story mode.
And I might have. I just don't remember, because I think I actually played it on PS4 when we had one. Or...
It's a giant white box. Man, it's fine if you now that I'm an older gamer, now that I'm a cranky old man and my back hurts and my knees ache whenever it rains, I have no fucking problem playing games on story mode or easy mode. It's not worth it to me anymore to play on hard and just be like, no, what's the fucking point?
No, I'm just here because I want to have a vaguely interactive story experience. That's all I want.
Yeah, interactive storytelling is fucking shit. That's why I want more single-player RPG games that have genuinely good stories attached to them.
Come and play Swoter. It's fun.
Squoter.
Squoter.
I was reading something about this game. I was reading something about KOTOR. Or SWOTOR.
I will tell you this: they need to hurry up with the remaster of KOTOR and KOTOR 2. That needs to be done now.
There's
shut up and take my money.
I don't think that's ever going to happen. If you want to remaster that game, what you do is you go ahead and grab your CDs and you reinstall that game. And then you go on to whatever your favorite mod website is, and you download the HD texture packages. That's your remaster.
Oh well, I've got that on Steam. All I got to do is go to Nexus Mods, and I'll find something. I'm sure.
There you go. Excuse me for a moment. I have to kill something.
Good luck. Storm the castle.
But yeah, no, I want more remasters, damn it. Give me more remasters of classic games that are awesome.
I don't know, it's kind of a hard thing to balance, I think, because while we might want good remasters, at the same time, we also rightfully often complain about how many remakes and remasters and reboots and blah 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 we see both in movies and in games. So
yeah, I will say this: there are a couple of games that I really would love to see remastered, but I know for a fact aren't going to get done. like I said last week, Xenogears is one of them. Just simply because of the religious context of the game. That if it gets remastered, it won't get re-released in the United States. That just will not happen. The other one is and this is a deep cut, and if any of the three of you know this game, I will be very impressed. Vandal Hearts, the original Vandal Hearts game that was on PlayStation, was fucking awesome. But again, that's another one of those games that, given the time, I don't think that there is any possible way that they would do it. And then I also would love to have a remaster of Final Fantasy Tactics.
But do you want a remaster, or do you want a version of the game that works properly on a modern system?
No, I mean, no. I want a full remaster, because they did quote unquote remaster Final Fantasy Tactics. I think it was for the Game Boy, correct me if I'm wrong, Game Boy Advanced. And it was called Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions. And they changed they updated the battle system a little bit. They changed a couple things, fixed a couple bugs. They added a couple of character classes and or jobs as they were in that game, and then they redid all of the cinematic cutscenes, and it was awesome. It was great. But I would a proper remaster for modern machines would be great. Yeah. No, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head there. I kind of want it optimized.
Hey, you gotta talk to GOG. They're doing the Lord's work these days, bringing back old games for and enabling people to play them properly on modern systems. There are very few remake or remasters that I don't consider to just be shameless cash grabs. The one, and I can't believe I'm gonna promote an Ubisoft title, but Anno 1404, back in like 2015 when I played that shit, or wait, it was before 2015. That came out in like 2007. I played that for years. I fucking loved that. It's probably the one of the best city builders, economic city builders ever that has ever been made, that I've played at least. And the original version of it had a memory leak. It had a flaw because it came out in 2007 when most applications on Windows XP, Windows 7, couldn't utilize more than, or they were 32-bit systems. They couldn't utilize more than 2 gigs of RAM. So trying to play the original Anno 1404 in like 2015, when you've got Windows 7 and Windows 10 is around the corner, and you've got 64-bit operating systems that can utilize however the fuck much RAM they want, yeah, the memory leak was fucking real, and it would just result in the game eating itself alive, and you could, the larger you built, the shorter you could keep the game open before it crashed. So Ubisoft came along, and they did Anno, the Anno History Collection. And I bought, for $15, I bought the remaster of Anno 1404 and Anno 1404 Venice. They came packaged as one. And they fixed that flaw. They updated what DX you could use, 9 or 11 or 10 later. They patched 10 back in. They updated the graphics. They made it so that you could run it at 4K if you wanted to. So that was a great example of a remaster. I had no problem with that. Also, it was $15. Not fucking bad for one of the best economic city builders that you could ever make. On the flip side of that coin, the Mass Effect Legendary Edition. That was a fucking shameless cash grab. And I bought it. I bought into that. I replayed it. And then I discovered that they got rid of all the ass shots. They remastered the game. They made it stable on modern systems. They made it easy so you could play it through Steam. You could get all your achievements. But they took out all the ass shots. Motherfuckers. So I went to Nexus Mod. I grabbed all the developer packages that the good people there had put up, and I put all the ass shots right back into the game. And that was the other thing. If you're gonna grab the Mass Effect Legendary Edition on Steam and you're just gonna play it vanilla, fine. But a lot of the errors that were in the original release are still fucking there. So it is a shameless cash grab. It's just like, oh no, it's basically the same thing. It's just available on Steam now. Isn't that neat? Oh, and we added HD support natively to the game. But you're still gonna have to go to Nexus Mods, and you're still gonna have to download 2, 3, 5 gigabyte packages to patch those games to fix some known flaws in Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3 that the community fixed. And EA just never fucking bothered with. So, mixed bag there. Yeah, there's some stuff that definitely deserves a remaster, but most of it, no. It's a fucking shameless cash grab.
I'm excited for the Suikoden remaster next week, but again, that is a valid fear of mine, is that this is just a cash grab, and then if it is a cash grab, I'm going to be very upset about it. But they've spent the better part of 2 years, and Konami's not known for spending the time on doing something and then it not being decent.
I want to play Mass Effect again.
Tell me where to find.
I got to talking about it, now I'm thinking about it. I want to play Mass Effect again.
Show you the road. The less you have to think before.
I wish you could romance Tally in the first game.
I'm willing to take that.
You know, I never played the original Mass Effect games.
Yeah.
I think I've told you before, my first foray into Mass Effect was Andromeda, which makes a lot of people sad, I've learned.
That was another AAA title that came dangerously close to a 7 out of 10. Yeah.
What did it score? Hold on. What was the...
Metacritic, I believe it was a 71 out of 100.
Oh,
So
wow.
It was a 7 out of 10, but it didn't dip below that 7 mark that I said. That is like, but for Metacritic, that is the worst score that you can possibly give a game, is a 7 out of 10. It's been the ongoing joke for years. It's just like, yeah, if there is no such thing as a 10 out of 10. If your game is perfect, it's 9.5 out of 10. If your game is pretty good, it's 9 out of 10. If your game could be better, but it's still basically playable, it's an 8 out of 10. If your game is absolute dog shit and you should never ever play it, it's a 7 out of 10. The other numbers are just obligatory. Anywho. So yeah, Avowed. Probably crash and burn. The thing I was so surprised about is Obsidian put out Pillars of Eternity. That was not a terrible game. So what the hell happened to their writing team?
What was it? Did we talk about... Did this happen last week? Or was it this week that NetEase laid off all of the Marvel Rivals developers?
Oh.
Yeah. Game made them enough money to keep the doors open for years. And they said, we've got it from... NetEase said, we've got it from here, and then just let everybody go.
Oh, did you play Marvel Heroes Omega?
Nope.
No,
I
sorry. Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, no, the title of the game is Marvel Heroes Omega.
Yes,
Oh,
I
sorry,
did play it.
that did sound confusing. But yeah, okay, so they shut those servers down, and the Steam group has been going on for years, and people are just like, please bring back the game, and everyone's just like, no, they're not going to bring it back. Besides, all your profiles were server-side, and all that got shredded, so you're never going to get your characters back, and all the rest of that, yada, yada, yada. Apparently, there has been a Discord community going for some time now that is slowly but surely working its way towards servers which have all of the content that was available in the game when it went offline. So they're working. They haven't got it yet. They haven't got all the content, but they've got a bunch of stuff working right now, and that was advertised all over the Steam community. So yeah, somebody figured it out. Somebody figured out how to bring that game back, and it's free. So you just go to the Discord. They have like you need a login process because you need to be able to access somebody's server and play this game. So there's a process to it, but it's free. Do you want to get back into that?
No,
Gonna have to start
thanks,
from scratch.
I didn't play it much when it was active. Now if they brought back City of Heroes, oh, I'd be down like a fucking clown playing some City of Heroes.
Which one was that? 2004. NCSoft? Jesus Christ, going back in time.
Oh yeah.
City of Heroes is a massively multiplayer online role-playing game originally created by Cryptic Studios prior to the IP's acquisition by NCSoft, previously developed by the now defunct Paragon Studios. Oh, it is currently developed by several private servers.
Yes, there are private servers available, but I refuse to do that because I don't trust people.
You trust AAA companies more than you trust your average Joe who's working on a passion project?
Absolutely not. I don't. Are you kidding me? Somebody tell me today when I was complaining about having to replace the shocks on my 2004 pickup truck to pass inspection. They told me, well, if you get an EV, and my immediate response was two things. One, that EV still runs on fossil fuels, just indirectly. Two, the suspension parts for an EV are twice as expensive as what I just paid for the shocks that I put on my truck. Sorry, no.
What kind of truck?
Hybrid
2000
electricity is more efficient than an internal combustion engine. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Get
I'm not
yourself a
gonna.
hybrid.
that argument's a meme. It's not actually a real argument. And
But
yeah.
Well,
get yourself a hybrid. That's
it's a 2004 Nissan Frontier. It's a little 4-cylinder pickup truck. It's literally
2004.
Yeah, and it's literally
How's your subframe not melted by now?
because Nissan made amazing trucks, and we also don't live in an area that gets a whole lot of snow. And we're far enough inland that we don't have to worry about the salty sea air.
Salty the air.
Salty sea air.
Anyway, yeah, whatever. So, first of all, I don't understand why shock absorbers are part of a safety. Speaking as a licensed Massachusetts state vehicle inspector, I don't understand how shocks are a part of your test.
It wasn't the shocks; it was the bushing around the mount. And it was. I heard a couple when I would go over bumps. I heard a bit of a thunk. And wondered, it's probably just a loose bolt on the bed. I can tighten that down. That's not a problem.
Again, same question. How the fuck did they get at the bushing? And was there like a lot of play in your tire when they jacked it up?
Oh, rear shock.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a rear shock, and the guy told me, he says, I don't know how you didn't snap the bolt that was running through that thing. The fact that you went over a bump and it didn't snap the bolt is shocking, is the exact way that he put it.
Get a fucking Toyota hybrid. Get a Toyota hybrid or a Toyota EV. You'll never have to worry about that shit ever again. The Prius is over a decade old. It's going on 2 decades now, and yeah, the shocks. It's just like what the fuck ever. The shocks are fine. Like till last year, I finally had to replace the factory brake pads that came with the car.
Good lord, man.
They're fucking built. They are well-built vehicles. There's a reason why I think Toyota is one of the most popular brands in the United States, if not the most popular. The Toyota Camry used to be the most popular sedan in America.
I will say this: I thought about getting a Prius, but I kind of wanted to have a truck in the event that I needed to have a truck.
Such as?
Helping people move stuff.
Stuff
like that.
Christ.
I'm a
I'm
nice
all for
person.
the atmosphere so that one day I might hypothetically in the future perhaps save somebody a $24.99 U-Haul rental.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, yeah, it's nice having a truck and you can put a whole bunch of stuff back in the bed. But unless it's really super tall, you can fit the same shit in the back of the Prius. You put the back seat of my car down, you can fit 12x6 lumber in there. I brought a whole bunch of lumber home from Home Depot in a fucking Prius, man. I'm just saying.
It's only
it's
a
worthwhile
four-cylinder.
investment.
It's nothing to worry about.
It is, yeah, it is only a 4-cylinder, and it fucking kicks ass for a 4-cylinder.
No, I'm saying my truck is only a 4-cylinder, and it's
Oh,
a Nissan.
It is
a pre-2010 Nissan 4-cylinder. That thing is gonna run for decades as long as I take care of it.
if you really want the truck route and you really want something that's well built, to try to find somebody who's selling a 1980s version of a Toyota pickup.
Oh, the Hilux?
Yeah,
Fuck
something around there.
I would kill to have a Hilux, but you can't get them in the United States. You have to buy them from somebody overseas. Unless there's somebody who ordered one and had it shipped here, it's next to impossible to get a Hilux, and the Hiluxes are fucking awesome. These things are tanks.
If you really want to go out of your way, yeah, sure. But there were a whole bunch of models that were sold domestically.
Oh yeah, the Toyota, the
Middle
T.
Eastern insurgents really love the Hilux.
Yeah, it's true. They do because they're indestructible.
That's the thing. You can put how many 50 cals through a Toyota pickup from the 1980s, and it still runs. I'm not even convinced that you can kill the engine with a 14mm shell. I know technically you should be able to. Like, according to physics, that should happen, but I'm not convinced of it.
I don't know if I told you guys the story of my mom's friend's 89, what was it, 88 or 89 Subaru station wagon that she took to trade in. And when she took it to get it traded in, this was in 2002, they looked at her, laughed, and said, "We can't give you anything for that vehicle." It had like 300-some thousand miles on it. It was still in top condition. She literally brought it home and said, "Nobody is going to drive this thing because it's not going to pass inspection anymore. Please," gave it to me and her son and said, "Kill it." And we tried.
I remember.
And we failed miserably. We took the engine and everything out of it. It is now sitting at the bottom of the fishing hole on my family's land.
Great. I bet it's a coral reef by now. I can't believe we're actually doing that. Or I can't believe that cities are actually doing that now with their old subway cars. New York recently, there was a whole article about how New York City just dumped a whole bunch of old trains into the ocean. They were just like, yeah, they make marine homes for fish. They're great. Reefs grow on them. I was like, I've never heard that before, but all right.
Wait, but like that's totally a thing. Like, They sink ships all the time to create artificial reefs.
Is that why they do it? Or is that just an added bonus? Sorry.
The
Yeah.
government says if it's at the bottom of the ocean, the people won't have to pay taxes on it anymore.
So here's the thing. As far as marine biology goes, and I learned this from there was a girl who worked backstage at New England Conservatory, and she was the head of the backstage department of just like setting up and breaking down everything. Who just for some reason, even though she was working that job, she had a master's degree in ocean biology. So she was a marine biologist, and somehow we got to talking about like artificial coral reefs or something. We might have actually been having this exact same conversation about sinking ships to form marine homes. She's just like, well, I guess, but the best way, what I remember from the conversation is the best way to foster like new growth in a coral reef is actually cinder blocks. Like, get a whole bunch of cinder blocks and dump them, because coral leaches nutrients from the cement that's used to make cinder blocks, and it's porous, so you can the roots and everything can just grab onto it, and it coats. You turn a pile of cinder blocks into basically a reef, and you can not see the blocks anymore, and it's kind of awesome. So that's always been in my mind, is like that's the best way to do it, or that's the way it should be done. But yeah, okay, fine. Sinking ocean liners, that works too. It's cheap.
There was a boat that they were getting ready to.
Yeah, the USS America. They're doing
Yep.
it right now.
That's it.
Really famous ship that
America.
has been sitting in, I think it was sitting in Philadelphia for like decades.
Yeah.
And nobody was doing anything with it, so they decided to sink it as a reef, so it's getting towed down to Florida. And they're going to sink it. And I mean, they make great diving attractions. That's one of the things I was reading about the subway cars, too, is that they're great diving attractions because they're not nearly as dangerous as actual shipwrecks can be. And they're still fun for people to check out, and fish love them.
Would it be too macabre to, like, sink a couple subway cars, but they have, like, plastic skeletons strapped in the seats, and, like, people in positions of panic and everything? So you're just like, oh, and this is the scene of the great 1964 train crash, where a subway train burst through the wall and went straight into the Gulf of New York, or whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know. I think it would be neat.
We could always, go down and look at the Titanic, y'all. That has never failed before, ever.
Oh yeah. You mean we could all get in the retard compactor and lower ourselves down to the Titanic? Oh, too soon?
Too soon?
Or not soon enough? I still see a Titan meme come up every now and again.
It's still pretty meme-worthy.
I'm sorry, it's just dumb. Just dumb. Your sub was being run by a off-brand Logitech PlayStation controller.
A generic controller.
See, that's people. I think that's way overblown.
Yeah,
like,
the
military controls fucking Predator drones with those too. Like, that's nothing.
That was not the problem. The problem was the entire body was made of carbon fiber, which is a fucking stupid idea. If you ask anyone who has any experience with submarines whatsoever, will say, don't build a sub out of fucking carbon fiber.
I mean, it's not just that. They also married carbon fiber with titanium, and the other rule with pressure vessels is that you don't mix, you don't combine materials that have different expansion rates.
Well, I hadn't heard about like the titanium or whatever that, but yeah, as far as expansion rates goes, the body was carbon fiber, and the giant bubble on the front of it was polyurethane or something. It was ridiculous, like the kind of plastic that you would use on a child's playground. It
No,
was just 7 inches thick.
the problem was the titanium coupling rings that like capped around the, because like that's where it failed. It failed at the where the titanium ring connected with the laminated carbon cylinder, and it was that's why if you look at the wreckage pictures, it basically imploded into one of the end capsules because it started down at the end, and yeah, the titanium did not like the linkage between the titanium and the carbon fiber, which I believe was just epoxy. They just fucking epoxied it and pressure fit that shit together.
Hey, it works when one of the handles snaps off one of my cooking pots, so why the fuck wouldn't it work on a submarine that goes down 2,000 meters?
Makes sense.
Jesus. So anyway, yeah, I gotta get out of here. I gotta walk my dogs. But this is it's been fascinating watching Zero play SWOTOR on basically on mute and walking up to all these aliens and having conversations with them. Oh, look at that! It's your boss. He looks happy. Yeah. He's definitely getting ready for Employee of the Month Day, where he can tell you that you're not Employee of the Month again.
And then gives it to the person that annoys the shit out of everybody.
Oh yeah, the one who reminds him, "Excuse me, sir, you forgot to give us our work task checklists for the week." Fucker. That's the guy. That's the guy who comes in one day and his desk is completely upside down, along with everything that was supposed to be on top of it.
Well, no, that's the guy who everybody takes the time, like that episode of The Office, where Jim wrapped, or seemingly wrapped, all of Dwight's personal effects.
Oh.
And it ended up being just a ruse, and it was like cardboard wrapped.
They looked like he had wrapped the desk and the chair up in Christmas paper, like giant Christmas present, and Dwight goes to sit down in the chair and just falls through and the desk collapses. Yeah, no, that was great. Yep. All right. So anyway, thank you everybody for coming along. I haven't been paying attention to Twitch chat. I hope nobody was Twitch chatting. Oh, that's unfortunate. Anyway, yeah, I'm bad about that.
Did we miss Kirby?
No, Kirby wasn't here this week, but Kirby will return in Kirby 2: The Legend of SWOTOR, starring Zero, starring teen heartthrob 0/75.
Oh, God, say it ain't so.
Fuck Elon, fuck Putin, fuck Winnie the Pooh, fuck Linus, fuck NZXT, fuck Hershey's, fuck Nestle. Is that it? I always feel like I'm forgetting somebody. Fuck Vince! There we go.
Yeah.
Is he dead yet?
No, but apparently he's trying to make a comeback.
Sad
because
old
all
man
of his
Vince.
cases, because his cases got dismissed.
Sad old shriveled man Vince.
Yeah.
Well, that's too bad. We'll check in again next week. Right, penis.